Hi folks, hope you're okay today. It's good to be with you. I just want to talk about the Epistle of Barnabas. I read that epistle the other day, and I just want to share my thoughts about its date and what it speaks to me and what I think of it. I think the Epistle of Barnabas is a very important document. The reason is I think it's an early document in the first century. Scholars put the date between 70 AD to 130 AD that the book was written. Quite a few scholars put the book to about 130 AD. I don't think it's 130 AD. I think it's about 70 AD. It mentions the sacking of Jerusalem, which was in 70 AD. There's another possible date for about 130 AD or 135 AD because of that, but I think it's in reference to the earlier sacking of Jerusalem. The other reason why I think it's an early date is the way the book's written. The writer is really writing with authority. He quotes the Gospel of Matthew as scripture, and he's writing to the church as if he has authority, and that's highly unusual. When you read the Gnostic Gospels, you don't get that. You only get that in literature that's by the church. He's not referring to any other authority. He's writing as if he's authoritative. So it's obviously, to me, it's either a brilliant forgery, i.e. written at a later date, but I don't think it is. I think it's a genuine early letter, an authentic letter of the early church. So the fact that he's writing with authority, not quoting any authorities, seems to suggest that the church is early, that it's early, because if it was later, he'd be referring more to the Apostle Paul, he'd be referring more to the New Testament literature. But because the church was in its infancy and in its birth, he's speaking with authority. So this person, I think, knew the apostles, or knew some of the apostles, and was involved in the thick of it in the early church. The third thing that I think about this book is it's great evidence for the death and resurrection of Christ. Being an early document, it clearly states about Jesus dying and rising again. The fourth important part of this book is its method of exegesis. It does exactly the way Athanasius and many of the early church fathers expounded the Old Testament. If you go to Athanasius and read his commentary on the Psalms and his thoughts on the Psalms, he Christologically expounds them from a Christological perspective. If you read 2 Corinthians, Paul will spiritualize the desert, the manna coming to Moses and saying that's Christ, the rock coming out of the water that Moses got, that was Christ. And this writer does the same. So exegesis, it shows you how to do exegesis. The next thing is the issue between the Jews and the Gentiles. This writer, I think, was a bit unbalanced. He'd taken Pauline theology to its extreme, and so that's an interest in that way. So I think it's a really valuable document, and very interesting document. I'm going to be reading it again. I'd encourage you to all read it, see what you can learn from it. Ask the question, is it an early document? If it's an early document, what are the implications of that? And I've thoroughly enjoyed reading it. So thank you for listening. I'll put a link to some of the things that can help you to get into this epistle. Take care.